My next tips and tricks video is on the somewhat unofficial mascot of Gundam Evolution, the Guntank. I have more played hours on this guy than anyone else, so I think I've learned a thing or two about him. Here are my tips and tricks on how to use the Guntank. Number 1. Focus fire. The Guntank is unique in that you can't really aim with his guns in the traditional sense. Instead, you just fire and anyone caught inside his large reticle box will get hit. But if you focus fire, you can condense that box and really concentrate your damage onto one or sometimes two targets. This can be make or break in close range combat, as the focus fire mode can easily melt units really quickly. Just think of it this way: default fire mode is more for medium range, and focus fire mode is for close or single targets. Number 2. Just fire. As I said, the Guntank doesn't aim like a normal gun, instead it has a wide spread, and with that said, you should try to keep to about medium range and just fire. Get as many enemies as possible in your reticule box and just pepper them with damage. You might not be able to finish them off, but you will weaken them enough for your teammates. Guntank really is a support unit and it thrives in that role. Giving enough suppressing fire to hold back the enemy until your teammates show up, or keeping them engaged in combat so that they can't heal, the Guntank can be a real pest if used effectively. Number 3. Don't neglect your cannons. The cannons on the Guntank are often neglected, but they are very powerful. They do have bullet drop at longer ranges, and learning the drop off rate can take a little bit of learning, but when you get that down you will become a lot more deadly. And the splash damage means that they are good for tight corners or hitting multiple targets, or even just hitting enemies around the corner. Or my favourite thing to do, dashing into the enemies and then hitting them with the cannons. I think people ignore them because they are slow and clunky, but believe me, they hit hard and they can be make or break in certain fights. The cannons, use them. Number 4, don't forget to Woooo! The rush forward and tackle can be used in many ways, as an extra dash out the gate, basic mobility, but the best way to use it in my opinion is using it to box enemies who get too close. You've probably been in this situation before. Enemies chasing you, you go around the corner, what do? Well, if you're the Guntank, you turn around, you rush forward, you tackle them, sending them flying back, hit them with the cannons, then focus fire until they die. Simple yet effective. The amount of people that get taken aback by this quick combo is insane, so please give it a try. Also, the dash forward blocks all damage coming towards it, meaning you can tank a lot of damage whilst closing the gap, so don't be afraid to use it. Although the Guntank is supposed to be a more medium range unit, don't think he is useless at close range. If you do get skilled enough with him, you can lead the charge. Number 5. Use your G maneuver. The core fighter is one of the most powerful G maneuvers in the game, so please use it. And when you use it, just relax and take your time. I know the thought is, oh shit, I need to fly in quick and explode, but the core fighter has a longer flight time than you'd think. And the longer it's in the air, the longer the enemy are going to be on edge. They're going to be looking around for it, splitting their focus, distracting them, so it's a good psychological tool as well. And remember, it flies. So don't just follow the path that the normal units take. Fly over walls, fly up high. My favourite thing to do is fly way up high, get a good look at the battlefield, and then just dive bombing. Super satisfying. And finally, number 6, revive your teammates. The Guntank's most neglected ability in my opinion is its quick revive. Normally it takes around 4, maybe 5 seconds to revive a downed teammate. The Guntank can revive people in 1 second. Crazy fast and super useful. Now, I'll admit this is something that I am guilty of neglecting myself, but I'm working on it. But it can be a crucial move in some games. Getting your teammate back up in no time to continue the fight, rather than having to wait for them to make it all the way back to the front, is game changing. Now, this ability does have a cooldown, otherwise it would be too OP, but please remember that you can do that. Just judge the situation, take the risk, dash in there, get your teammate up, and then just dash out. And that's all I can think of at the moment for tips and tricks. Guntank is super easy to use, and if you master him, you will be a force to be reckoned with. Back in Season 1, when the game was only on PC, I could only use the Guntank because I used controller, and if you use controller on the PC, you don't get aim assists, so I couldn't really use any other unit. So thankfully the Guntank was there to make the game enjoyable for me and actually be able to play it. And thankfully those skills that I learned in Season 1 did transfer over to the console. So thank God for the Guntank. If you have any tips, then please share in the comments down below. I would like to know, and we can help each other get better. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.